One of the questions that I see popping up a lot now is how do I find the right therapist for me? I've even heard it from my clients where they've said, I've looked for a lot of therapists before I got here and they weren't always a good fit. And I get that. It is hard sometimes to find the right fit of a therapist. And I know I'm not going to be the right fit for every single person, too. But finding the right therapist is so important to helping you on that journey for yourself, of bettering yourself, and getting to the space that you want to be. My name is Kaylee, and I'm a licensed counselor and certified career counselor at the Lookout Point. I love helping people pursue therapy and learn the skills, even if they're not in counseling at this time. But today I want to talk about finding that right therapist for you because I think that that's really important. All of my videos are meant to be kind of like starting points, but at the end of the day, I think it's helpful to have that person that you talk to that knows your story and is able to help you through that. So, one of the big things about finding the right therapist is I need you to know that it is not one size fits all. Some therapists are going to approach things in a very structured way. They're going to use certain treatment styles that are structured. Other therapists are going to be a little bit more go with the flow. And quite honestly, we need all the different kinds of therapists because not every person is going to like the style that that therapist presents with. So as you're looking at therapists, think about what you appreciate in those connection points. Do you need someone to give you the clear structure and the homework assignments and the let's challenge this thing and next time we're going to challenge that thing? Or do you need someone who lets you talk it out and say what's on your mind in that moment, but is able to kind of bring in a bigger picture of what's going on for you? It entirely depends on your style. So if you know what your style is, go ahead and start there. The next thing that you do is start to look at therapist profiles, and that may sound really silly, but Psychology Today is a great place to start. It has a lot of therapists. It doesn't have all therapists, but it has a lot of therapists who have put their profiles on there about how they work, who they work with, and that kind of thing. So if you're starting to kind of do that research, you can go on there, search in your region, or even search via telehealth, like telehealth therapists like me. And you will then be able to narrow it down in terms of like what kinds of things they treat, what styles they use. And you'll see these letters like EFT or emotion focused therapy, or CBT or whatever it is. And if you want to know more about those, you can usually, it sounds really like a cop out, but you can usually look it up on Google, like what is CBT, or you can even a lot of times just click on their link and see what a therapist kind of says they do in their work. That profile is going to give you a smidge of information about them, but from there, I really encourage you that if they offer some kind of a free consultation, take it. Because they're going to be able to talk to you in that moment and you're going to be able to hear them. You're going to hear their vibe. You're going to hear kind of how they work and their approach. And you're going to get a feel pretty quickly. I mean, people make those decisions about connection, finding jobs, things like that within just a few seconds of meeting a person. So even getting on that phone is a really helpful tool for finding the right fit. If you know that you want like a specialized therapist, like say a therapist who does EMDR, EMDRIA.org is a website for therapists who have been certified in EMDR, and then they have their little find a therapist list, right? I'm part of a career development association that has a list where I'm on it for career counselors. So if you know you want a specific type of counseling like that, you can also find those kind of websites that list the therapists. But the thing I will say over and over again is talk to the person because that's going to be your biggest indicator of if it's a good fit or not. The other thing I want to tell you is say you go into that first therapy session and it just doesn't feel like it was the right fit. Maybe you feel like you made a mistake. It is okay to change your mind. It's okay to say, yeah, I was wrong. I don't feel like this is the right fit. If it's a beginning of therapy, I think you can keep looking. And you can even just say, like, to the therapist in an email or wherever, like, thank you for your time. I don't feel like this was the right fit. I'm going to continue looking. You have that right. Therapy is meant to serve you. It's meant to be a space where you're getting your needs met. And if you're not feeling like that's going to happen, it's okay to say, I don't feel like this is happening. If you've been working with a therapist for a couple of months and you feel that kind of fade, I would say if you can have a conversation with the therapist at that point, it would be good. Maybe saying, hey, can we change it up? Or do you have ideas of somebody else who might help? That can always be really helpful to have that open conversation. I tell my clients all the time, I am not going to have my feelings hurt if you say, Kaylee, you're not doing it for me. I need someone else. Because I get it. I'm not going to fit everybody. So don't be afraid to ask. Okay? The last little piece that I want to encourage you in is that it is okay to also, when you're on that phone call, say, tell me how you work. I need to know your style. Because yes, you'll get a feel for some of that, but learning how a person's style is, a therapist's style, is going to be really helpful along that decision making process. So as you're going through this journey, give yourself permission to keep looking. Give yourself permission to ask questions and say what you need in that. And I know that you may not know like what exactly you need in a therapist. I would say you need to feel safe. You need to feel connected and able to open up. You do not need to tell your life story the first day, but I want you to feel safe enough that you could tell your life story within a year. Let's say that. Maybe sooner. I don't know. But I do think it takes time, and you need to build that trust. And you will know in the early stages if you feel that connection or not. If you don't feel that connection, ask yourself what's going on. If the therapist seems like they're kind of rubbing you the wrong way, or if you feel like they're reminding you of someone or something from your past, those could be things to work on in therapy. And I want you to always feel comfortable saying, I need to keep looking. There is someone out there that's the right fit. Because there is. There are a lot of therapists, and they are not one size fits all. Take care. And if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. Bye.